Alright, hello everybody, welcome to our Game 2 of the Best of 3 finals of the N9 Dota 2 Cup. I am The.Spectre, joining me is Daredevil Dan, and we have Can't Say Whips facing off against Hans Reborn. Hans taking out the first game and looking pretty strong right now.
Yeah, definitely. They did really well that first game. And did you put the ticks on for who won that match?
Yep, sure did.
Oh.
You can't see it, it's blocked out. From
I feel like you should be able to see like the tip of the color just over it, because you can see like a bit of the line, but obviously not, right?
you can't.
Yeah, but Weaver being banned out by Can't Say Whips, followed by the Nature's Prophet from Hans Reborn, so they're like, we're not picking it for Endless, so you don't get it.
It's basically been, out of these two teams, whoever's picked Nature's Prophet has won. So Can't Say Whips knocked Hans down with Godot playing the Nature's Prophet. Now Hans taking out the first game with Endless playing the Prophet. So they ban it out because CSW do have first pick.
Yeah, and just not wanting to give that away, and both these teams really do like their Nature's Prophet, as you were saying. So getting that out of the way, and Timbersaw being banned out, as Balls does play, you know, a fantastic Timbersaw. We haven't seen Pudge all day though.
I know.
What is
so
this?
Sad. And
it's so weird.
Because Pudge can use Blink Dagger now. I thought we'd be seeing Pudge a lot more from Balls, but he's been playing more standard Dota, which, you know, isn't a bad thing. It's making the games look a lot better, so hopefully we'll see some more, and the Sand King ban out will actually be the second ban from Hans.
Yeah, and I mean, it's been very back and forth for this whole tournament, I think, really. Hans Reborn obviously being quite strong through it, but the same as Can't Say Whips knocking them down, so I think this is honestly anyone's game. This could go for a game 3, or Hans Reborn could just, you know, win. I mean, if they get an early advantage, they seem like they just steamroll.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly, and because the Lich wasn't banned out, we're going to be seeing him now picked up by CSW as the first pick. We're going to be seeing Sacrificing, Frost Armoring, Nova, and the ult. It's just so strong. So, you know, I think Lich is great. Not really sure if he's first pick material, but he's definitely an extremely strong hero.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that he steals experience away is really strong. Like, it's just very good. And he always gets his levels because of it. So, I can see why he's first pick, but you kind of give away a lot of what you want to do. I mean, Lich, if you pick him in anything but a decent team fighting team, he doesn't do anything. You need a decent amount of lockdown to go with him so you can get the bounces. Something like AoE stuns, Tidehunters, Magnus, even though we don't really see him much. Alchemist works quite well as well, along with like Darkseer and things like that, but
yeah, exactly.
You know, you need something to work with.
Or, you know, like into a Clockwork Cogs, we've seen it work great in the past, but if it doesn't come through, the ulti just has such a slow travel time, it doesn't really do anything. So, you know, you really need that secondary source of lockdown. The Lich slow in itself is alright, but it's just really not enough, and Hans need to take advantage of that. If CSW are going dual lanes, Lich is great in that kind of setup because it just feeds you so much experience and takes it away from them. It means the lane's closer to your tower as well. It's a lot of power, and Hans picked the Clockwork this game.
Yeah, nicely picked up. I mean, one of the bad things about Clockwork is if you grab them and trap them in, you're also there. So you can pick things up that really punish that if you're picking Clockwork first. So things like, you know, Alchemist is great against it. Anyone with really a stun to just stop him in there. You can pick up things like 4-stars to save your team, and a Lich ult ain't half bad with it too, because everyone's sort of quite close around the cogs.
Yeah, exactly, and if you pick up something like the Nakes, if you hook into him, if you cogs up, it's not really a case of Clockwork trapping the Nakes, it's the Nakes that has the advantage there.
It's the Rage Cage, man. The Rage Cage.
Yeah, exactly. It's just so much damage that can come out. So, I mean, Hans pick up the Nyx Assassin. Again, Firestarter had a good game last time. Missed quite a few stuns, but, you know, still managed to end the game pretty emphatically. Getting some nice infest bombs with him as well as with Shaitan. So, they may choose to just play the same kind of game. If they have Endless Winter on the Clockwork, who's just a great Clockwork player, you could even grab the Nakes again, have hook ends with the Clockwork, Infestins with the Nyx Assassin Vendetta, so there are a lot of options, and it looks like CSW going to keep it stable and pick up the Queen of Pain for Slicks.
Reserve time.
Yeah, and Queen of Pain, as you've said, you know, a great hero, and we see him a lot. Slick's going to play this hero again. Surely he's got to get really sick of this hero. Like, he plays it all the time.
It's like the 7th game?
I swear he's played it every game except one game where I think he played the puck instead. But that's it. Like, this guy has got to be so sick of Queen of Pain. There's only so much of one hero you can play, right? But then again, we watch Admiral Bulldog and he plays, what, 3 heroes?
Yeah. And
forever?
Yeah, if you look at Balls' pub stats, he's played almost 700 games on Pudge. I think he's sitting at about 690, and then his next highest hero is Timbersaw on like 160.
Dyer's banned.
Like, honestly, if you want a good read, look at Balls' pub stats. They're freaking insane. He's played 3,000 games, and he has a 72% win rate.
Yeah, it's pretty insane. He's a pub stomper. We can give him that. He knows how to kill pubs.
His longest win streak is 63 games.
Yeah, it's just disgusting.
Like, what? How? How do you do that?
I think mine's like 10.
I don't think mine's even that. It's like 8 or 9 or something, but... I mean, Jesus, we have the best 3 here. For people wondering in the chat, Hans took out the first game and now picking up an Enchantress. Someone that we haven't seen all day, and a hero that really benefits from an early hand of Midas, I gotta say. You can go through a really quick jungle, get up a lot of large creeps, really get a lot of experience, get the hand of Midas up in the kind of 5 to 7 minute mark, and roll further from there with experience and gold. Get something like a quick Scythe, get something like the Aghanim Scepter. Sometimes we see Ag's Mask of Madness on Enchantresses, just to deal out all of that impetus damage, the more useful for the attack speed, not the actual lifesteal. So, you know, Enchantress can be a semi-carry in her own right, but mostly played as kind of that Chen position jungle hero where you just grab creeps and try to gank the lane, push down towers early, and get an advantage that way. But certainly a lot of damage can come out from an Enchantress.
Yeah, most certainly. You know, the Args Mom kind of builds, and Hans Reborn are a team that likes Mom, so it could be a thing this game. But as you said, more of a sort of Chenny, get those creeps, get the push. But at the moment, they don't have a push lineup. Clockwork doesn't do anything to towers. Nyx doesn't do anything to towers. So it could be looking for just more of a ganking role, trying to get the kills down and then take towers with just the fact that you have 4 or 5 heroes there. But they could also use it with the semi-carry role. And if you pick up like a Midas with Enchantress, because Midas is the thing now, you can definitely get to it pretty damn fast. And it's attack speed, which is good.
Yeah, I think the only problem might... Well, actually, not a problem, but the problem for CSW is that those Enchantress creeps will take up a lot of Lich bounces as well. It can be sort of a double-edged sword where it keeps it in a little area because it's really hard to micro separate creeps in opposite directions. You know, it can be done, obviously, but it does take away a lot from the actual hero who's trying to run as well. So throwing an ult into an Enchantress can be really good, can be really bad. It all depends on your luck. But
yeah, it really does. And now bandouts, we see ES and Bounty Hunter banned out against Can't Say Whipsum. We saw Godot on that Bounty Hunter who played fantastically, and we saw Guani or Tomato on the ES just play that fantastically as well. And Puck banned out, so Slicks doesn't have to worry about that, and the Changron as well.
Who is Slicks going to play against? We've just seen Puck all day.
I don't know.
Something
maybe it'll
new.
be a Pudge.
Will it be Invoker? Will it be Pudge? Come on, Balls. Play Pudge.
Play Pudge.
I'm going
to
message him right now.
Don't message him. We don't rig tournaments, remember?
It's not rigging if we ask him to play Pudge. But we're going to have a Clinks. So
alright, that's interesting too. I love seeing Clinks.
Clinks has been kind of the new carry in the pro scene. We've seen DK picking up quite a lot, burning, just absolutely pretty much destroying everyone with his Clinks as of late. So, you know, I like the change to Searing Arrows. It's 10 more damage at every single level. So you start off with 30 bonus damage on that Searing Arrow. You can't really spam it out at level 1, of course, but it's just so much harassment damage that you can do in lane, as well as easy last hitting.
Reserve time.
So he's going to be great there. And they have a lot of heroes that can easily be taken out by a Clinks. I mean, if you get an Orchid up, Lich, Queen of Pain, and Rubik, all dead. They don't have any tank. They rely on, you know, their escape mechanism in the form of Queen of Pain. Rubik and Lich are support, so they're going to be eaten alive anyway. But, you know, Rubik can't even lift to run.
To go.
And Clinks is going to be a big problem in that regard. And CSW going to be picking up that Elder Titan, so still no real hard carry. But Elder Titan with a Queen of Pain Lich, that's a lot of damage coming out with that natural order.
Yeah, it really is, and it just makes them do so much. But one of the things with Elder Titan, we saw it in one of the other games, he just didn't feel like he had any impact because he got shut down in his lane. He was in a dual lane though, so he wasn't getting the levels Elder Titan needs. I think if you're going to play him, you have to put him alone, or else he just feels kind of weak. He's got a bit of health, but you don't have him in the fights because he's in a dual lane trying to, you know, win his lane, and just seems very sort of lackluster.
Yeah, exactly. I think Elder Titan has fallen out of favor a little bit, you know, after being so strong, but I think it's a combination of he was so new, no one had really figured him out. They know, but people know that you can just burst an Elder Titan down. He may lower your armor, but he's not that tanky himself. Like, he may be able to get off a stomp if you initiate onto him, but we're going to see a Zeus from Hans.
Okay, that's unusual.
Now, that's exciting.
Is Merlini in this team now, or...?
I'm really interested to see whether it's going to be Balls or Shaitan on that Zeus.
Yeah, it'll definitely be interesting. I mean, Balls has kind of moved way more to the farming role, and Shaitan's gone back to his roots on the mid, but I mean, the only really time you see Balls mid is when they want to take a Timbersaw mid or a Pudge nowadays, so... It would be leaning towards the Shaitan, Zeus, and Balls on the Clinks. But do you think they're just going to put the Clockwork offlane, Nyx with the Clinks, and then Enchantress and Faceless Void to combo with the Lich and the Elder Titan? And that's dangerous.
This is an exciting end. This is what we've been waiting for all day.
This is it. I'm awake now.
It's going to all be down to Kirei, who doesn't normally play kind of that farming role. I mean, we do see him in the mid lane, sometimes safe, but I've never seen him as... In fact, what am I saying? CSW never pick a hard carry, so why would I know who their carry player is? So
they don't even have one, man.
So Kirei now designated hard carry player, and Shaitan picking up that Zeus, Balls on the Clinks, as we sort of expected there. Endless Winter, of course, taking up that Clockwork. Really, he's a Nature's Prophet, Bounty Hunter, Clockwork Machine. He's the Australian Admiral Bulldog, but way better and more handsome.
I've never met him, so... I mean,
let's get into introducing the teams. On the side of Hans Reborn, who are one up in this series, we have Endless Winter on the Clockwork, Nyx Assassin being played by Risk, aka Firestarter, the Lippy, Enchantress will be played by Lippy, Hans Reballs on that Clinks, hidden behind the game is paused menu, and finally Shaitan playing the Zeus.
And over on CSW, we have Godot playing that Elder Titan, Kide on the Void, Slicks playing the Queen of Pain, Guani on the Rubik, and Tupac on the Lich.
Tupac. I love saying his name. It's a great name. Tupac for you. But it's certainly an interesting lineup from Hans. If they get it rolling, I honestly don't see them getting stopped. I mean, Zeus, he has one of the highest pub rates of any hero, and that's in all brackets. It's not just potato bracket, it's not just ultra tier, it's over everything. Zeus has an extremely high win rate, and it's basically down to a combination of his insane nuking and the aura, which does % damage, so it scales very well. I mean, at max level, it's 11% health reduction for every spell. I mean, that's actually completely bonkers. Like, if you throw out an Arc Lightning, a Thunderbolt, another Arc Lightning, that's 33% health of all heroes gone in an area, on top of, like, the nuke damage.
Yeah, it's a damn lot, and it's very good against high health heroes. And I mean, they don't really have anyone that's that tanky other than Godot. Right. But even then, you know, he's just basically there to go Astral Spirit, ult, Chrono on top of the ult. If you drag them into a Chrono and then Lich ult, it's gonna be insane.
Yeah,
but apparently
big burst.
Apparently Kire is a very good anti-mage, as D-Base in the chat has said, so looks like he'll be bopping creeps like a madman. And is he going mid?
Well,
Against a
Zeus?
Zeus?
Kind of what I've been saying. I think it might be a dual mid with Tupac and Kire, so you have the wave being drawn back by the Lich, and Kire being a mid. We have seen Burning play anti-mage in mid. It's not too uncommon.
Yeah, but not against
see.
a Zeus. There's so much nuke damage. If you don't get like the dodges from backtrack, he's gonna force you out of the lane really quickly. I think by level 3, Zeus will just be able to just spam lightning bolt on him. Unless this Lich can force that Zeus to be very afraid, he's gonna be fine. But I think Tupac might actually just be here to deny and then walk away. And I don't think Kiddo is gonna be okay in this lane. I really don't. I don't see it working.
Well, I mean,
but
if he goes...
It might just be too next level for me.
If he goes to bottom, it's dual laning Godot, which we both agreed was probably a bad idea because Elder Titan's so great solo. Godot also got the boots first, which kind of leans more towards being a solo. And Tupac still staying in this mid lane, blocking off the creeps, going for a double block here. Blocking actually extremely well right now. They're basically at a standstill.
They're going to do it too well, though.
Now, but Kire's here. They might block far too well, but, you know, Shaitan blocking decently too. So the creeps are going to meet, and it's going to be in pretty much the middle. A bit of an advantage to CSW there, but they do have less creeps as well. And as you were saying, Kire, just that one Arc Lightning. That's level 1 Arc Lightning, and down quite a decent chunk of health. And Void doesn't have the best innate regen, so it's very dangerous.
Yeah, I don't see this going too well for them. I really don't.
Yeah, you can see he's not even kind of harassing Tupac, not even getting the right clicks off either, so Shaitan's pretty much free at the moment. Sitting at 520 gold, so should be getting that bottle quite soon. He's just using Arc Lightning to secure those last hits. Pretty standard Zeus play. And he's actually gone for the passive second up, so he's going to be damaging both of these heroes for 5% of their health every single cast. And
don't forget it's 5% current health, not max.
Yeah, that's true, but it's still a big amount.
It's a lot, yeah, it's definitely a lot. It hurts a lot when you level it as well. Generally, you level up the lightning bolt to max before it, and then you level that up, and it just does a hell of a lot. But yeah, I mean, that doesn't really come online until it's sort of maxed, and you're just throwing out bolts after bolts after bolts. But Tupac's really got to force him out of here. Today, he's sitting on 4 for 2 against the 6 for 1 Zeus, and he's not getting the solo experience.
We're going to have a smoke up from the Radiant supports. They might come mid, or they might do a complete loop into that top lane. As Sata already dying off, they need this Hellbear Smasher to stay alive. It will be there for another 45 seconds. They might be able to catch Lich out, and as he goes for this rune, it is a haste rune. They do know he's there, they spotted it out, but he just picks it up and goes on his merry way. They'll need to go for Kire, and I don't know if they really have enough lockdown for this. He does have the leap, but it is only level 1, so quite low range, and Tupac might actually walk into them. He reveals the smoke, ping's coming out instantly, so that hasted Lich serving his purpose, and Kire is just going to back out.
Yeah, they can't do anything here, so really fortunate that the Lich had a haste rune and was just casually walking past there. And that gank has basically done nothing, and you know, they're basically just gonna go, alright, we're back to the jungle. Dual jungle time. Sick of this. This is awful.
And if we take a look at the bottom lane, Balls up against Godot. Balls is completely crushing, sitting at 20 and 4 for Godot's 6 and 0. And that Searing Arrow is now level 2. It's doing 40 bonus damage, so he's already hitting for almost 100 damage at level 4.
Yeah, it's insane. Godot can't do anything on this lane. He's got to be really careful. Sure, he can harass a bit with the Spirit, but it doesn't do as much damage as it used to. And he's already forced off the lane, and Balls is laughing at him because
that casual BM. And we're gonna have Enchantress pick up one of the medium satyrs and throw it mid, throwing out the mana burn onto Lich, so he now has not even enough mana to use Sacrifice. So a nice little cheeky play there.
Yeah, he basically can't do anything, and I don't know about this lane, man. I think Void should have just gone top, and Slicks should have bit the bullet and farmed against that Zeus. Slicks would have done better than this dual lane would have. They're sacrificing so much on it. Faceless Void with no farm is useless. And he could be, you know, basically free farming top instead. Clockwork ain't that scary to him. He can harass him out, especially with Guani there. He should be fine. But CSW, I'm just not sure about their laning.
Yeah, going for something different. They are already down 1 game, so maybe hoping to get a bit creative here. Hoping for a lot of luck. We've got Kirei with that Ring of Health, but dropping down so much from that nuke from Shaitan. Really needs...
He is not the backtrack lord.
But Kirei just getting smashed down here. Needs a shed. Tango does have that Ring of Health. So he will, you know, regen decently well, but Shaitan just so strong in this mid lane, and pretty much as soon as he hits level 6 and has some decent mana, he can grab a kill. As long as Void isn't at full health, he can easily just grab it.
Hey, dodge something, but it was only the chain lightning. But I mean, the one thing is Shaitan has to, he has to bottle crow here because obviously it is very mana intensive to keep shocking him, but it's worth it. He's 24 for 1 against a 17 for 2 dual lane. And Lich has 3 last hits, so
yeah,
he's still winning this
much
lane.
Either way, and
Clinks is free farming.
Exactly, Clinks up at 34 and 6. Has the Bassi, has the boots. Do you think he goes straight for the Hand of Midas? No, he's gone for the treads. And a pause coming out right as Kirei is in a little bit of a bad spot, but should be able to walk back. But Ball's going for the treads instead of something like the Hand of Midas. Won't see that insane quick acceleration at the beginning of the game, but more than likely he'll just go straight into the Orchid. Get active as soon as he can, and you know, all of the heroes on CSW, if they get Orchided, they're dead.
He can pretty much, even with this treads pickup, have a 13-minute Orchid if he keeps farming like this.
Yeah, Balls is just insanely good, so... You know, as we were saying before, Pub Lord, #1, and he's doing really well for himself on this bottom lane. 35 and 6 up against Godot's 12 and 0. And Elder Titan, not really a hero that you can just rotate into the jungle. He's sort of in the same boat as Clockwork, where they're great offlaners, they're good tempo controllers for the mid game, but if they get pushed out of their lane, they're not getting back in it.
Alright,
and they can't just transition to a jungle where they can farm up. They're just really screwed. We could see that last game where at 29 minutes in, the Clockwork was level 8. And it was just sad to see.
Yeah, Tomato was like the saddest person in that game, man. And we didn't even realize he was that far behind until, you know, quite late in the game, because you just don't expect it. Like, it's not something I look at past the sort of 20-25 minute mark as the levels as much. Like, at this point it matters a lot, but you don't really expect that to happen, so... Maybe we should have been more on the ball, James. It was our fault. And Godot actually picking up mana boots, just straight mana boots, just to try and get the spam out to do something. And there's a lot of creeps down here bottom, so Godot will be getting a little bit more experience. But Reballs, or Balls, however he wants to be called today, he can force him out of the lane, and the Zeus ulti to fly.
Ultimate come out. Enchantress picking up the kill on top lane. Guani in a lot of trouble as well. Endless is there to try and finish it off. It's going to be a kill as well. So that's 2 for 0 trade. Shaitan did grab the mana boots, used all of his bottle charges, was saving for that ultimate, and it really paid off. The rotation from the supports into that top lane grabbed them a kill, or 2 kills.
Yeah, and Zeus ulti, you've always got to remember that, like, alright, it does 225. Gotta be really careful, because that's a lot of burst damage to come out from nowhere. Like, it's guaranteed to hit. It's on everyone. And do we see him rush something like an Arganims this game? Like, I don't see why not. He could go things for like 4 staffs and even a mech, but I think I would honestly prefer something like a Arganims, maybe even a Refresher.
Ball's getting hit by the Spirit, which he was so desperately trying to get away from. And we're going to have the Illusion Room popped by Shaitan, throwing out a big nuke onto Tupac, wishing that he had the ultimate now. It's on cooldown for 20 seconds. I'm not even sure if Lich can actually get back to Fountain.
Nah, he'll be fine. He'll be fine.
And Clockwork going to pick up a kill on Slicks in that top lane with the help of Firestarter. And Shaitan, 7 seconds till that ulti. Lich still isn't back. He's only got 150 health. I think with the reduction, it's still 175 damage. If he throws it out now, it's a kill.
He won't. I don't think he'll know. It's like a waste if you don't get it. And still a Zeus ulti for a Lich is like kind of meh. Because you can use it to do a lot more on the map, I find. And Guani now smoked up top. He's just sort of hanging out here. Slicks has rotated. He's just struggling on this map, I find.
Yeah, right now the unconventional pickup of the Zeus working wonders for them. Kind of on the back of a weird choice by CSW to dual lane a Faceless Void and a Lich in mid, however. So, you know, it's a little bit double-sided there. Kire does have the treads up now, just sitting in his stash. I think it's being delivered now, but Ringer Health treads by 8.5 minutes is alright. Not great, but it's not bad. He does have the Chronosphere available now, and it looks like we might see Risk trying to go for something on top lane, but those supports positioning very far back. We see pings coming out, blink up into the tree. The hook is going to miss from Endless Winter, but he's got a haste rune trying to get active here on Guani, but he's taking so much damage from the tower. Unfortunately, Lift's still on cooldown for another 15 seconds, so he's not being able to be thrown back in.
Much appreciated.
So, just not able to grab anything there and taking a lot of damage. But he does get flasked up, and he will be back at full health.
And Shaitan actually going in on me.
The big ulti coming out, the Earth Splitter to follow it up. Shaitan might be in a lot of trouble, gets exploded by that ultimate coming out. So a nice combo up with the moves, and it's a kill that they really needed.
Yeah, they really needed to kill Shaitan there, and he bought a magic wand, and he does know that there is a sentry ward in mid because his what's it called? Static field does reveal it when you use either the Thunderbolt, the Lightning Bolt, or the Thunder God's Wrath, but not the Chain Lightning.
Yes,
so, yeah, we learned that the other day.
Slicks might be in trouble here. Vendetta as well as the strike coming out and being killed by the Clockwork, but the Zeus ulti coming through at the same time. And
they almost managed to kill the Void mid as well with the Enchantress coming in and the Zeus ult.
And that's something that you have to think about all the time, is that Slicks can't just blink away now. If they have the nuke damage, if it's off cooldown, Zeus can just ult through, and that's something that you can't run from.
You can't run from heaven, man. Exactly. See, what they should have done is picked up Spectre and Nature's Prophet and AA and Gyrocopter and then played the game.
Just
can't run from heaven strats. Yep.
Kira might be in a bit of trouble here. He is just going to run back in time. We have a max level Thunderbolt. Ball's going for a bit of a kill here, but nothing is going to come from it. They're just going to transition into a tower push. The Spirit from Godot gets chucked out, will hit on quite a few heroes, so he's looking to be getting some nice plus damage, but Lippy has the Spirits, and I think we have 3 pairs of Mana Boots up on the Radiant side. Yes. We've got one on Risk, Lippy, and Shaitan, so basically infinite mana for this team, as well as 2 bottles. And Risk getting pinged out here, they know he's there, but, you know, they don't really have a way of doing anything. A sentry gets plopped down, he gets lifted before he can Vendetta strike, but there's nothing that they can really do. Guani does steal that Vendetta and runs into it, but the sentry ward is placed down instantly. Clockwork hooking onto Guani, catches him out, but he can't see him. The sentry ward finally placed down in range. The stun just clipping him. It's going to be a kill for Endless Winter, who is now dominating. And there's just so much damage coming out from this team. Right now, Hans looking very dominant. 5-1 as far as the kills go. If you take a look at experience, they're sitting around 3.5k ahead, as well as gold being around 4.7k in their favor. So setting up the early game really well.
Yeah, and this is exactly what we said, you know. When Hans Reborn get on a roll, they steamroll you. You know, this team loves the advantage that they gain, and they know how to keep it. They do this weird, you know, let's throw the game with items, but don't throw the game. Like, they pick up Moms and Dagons for shits and giggles and still win, because they're so far ahead, a Mom is legit, and Dagon kills people.
It's very scary to see. We have Balls almost completing his Orchid now. Is only a few hundred gold off completing that, so we're going to be seeing around a 13.5, 14 minute Orchid for him. And Godot might be in a bit of trouble here. We've got Firestarter coming through as well as Balls. He's going to go under his tower, but that's not going to save him, I don't feel. Risk comes in, and there goes Godot getting the mana burn. The stun does hit, and Balls picking up the kill. Just so much damage coming out. Those searing arrows hitting for so much.
He's hitting for over 200 damage as a level 10 hero. It's pretty frightening.
Shaitan
And he's going to have his
in
Orchid
rune
on
here.
last one.
Hook in on Slicks. The ulti
what's
can come out in a
Dive
moment.
bottom
Slick still
down.
has too much health though. They're trying to go for Guani. The ulti does come out, but it's not enough to kill him. But the burst is from the other two spells. Picking up the kill on the Rubik.
best
Slicks
do
does
something
escape
about
with
that
about
bottom
half health
tower.
though, so just a kill on a Rubik, but a kill nonetheless. Now 7-1 in Hans's favor.
Yeah, and almost pushing down this tier 1 bottom as well. Leaving it just outside of deny range, so they're going to come back in. ET might be able to get on the deny,
I
but
just
he's not
couldn't
going to be
save
able to.
that
And Clinks
bottom
clears that
tower.
tower. He's got his Orchid out on the way, and treads at 13 minutes. This is a farmed and scary Clinks.
Dive's
And
top
what do they
tower's
have to
getting
counter
beat
that,
down.
really?
Well, who can he not kill?
You could
Like,
maybe
if Void gets backtrack of the gods,
throws out the ulti and leaps away, but that's assuming that he misses the Orchid, or
Orchid.
decides not to use it for some reason. Like, I think with an Orchid, if any of these heroes are alone, or sometimes even with the wrong kind of 2 pairing, Balls just gets kills.
yeah, and pretty much this is where you go, alright, Clinks, you got enough fun, man. Go back to base, get full mana, and go kill everyone. That's your job now, just kill everyone.
He has...
Oh, and Firestarter caught out here. The ult coming out from Godot, missing completely, and the Lich ult, just to kill a Nyx assassin.
Yeah, that's 2 ultimates used there.
That's a waste, to be perfectly honest. They would have killed them without either of them.
Yeah, the ultimate of Elder Titan completely missing, and the Lich ult grabbing the kill, but they didn't need it. I think it was more... Sometimes that can be more of a psychological thing where it's, okay, we've just burst him down, you were going to come in, but because we didn't not use the ultimates, you're still in a bad position, and now you're down a player. So sometimes it can be better to use the ultimates like that. Balls is coming in on Slicks, he's just used the blink. Orchid is available for Balls, he tosses it out. Slick's in a lot of trouble here, doesn't even use the searing arrows, and he goes down with some help from Zeus. And Shaitan has an ultimate orb in his stash, so not going for the Aghanim Scepter straight away. Looks like he might be going for a Scythe instead. Maybe
That's
even
a scatty,
Link
mate.
Sphere.
It's a scatty.
Might be going for the
But,
Iron
picking-
Scotty, but I doubt it.
I mean, he could pick up a Lincoln Sphere to put onto the Clinks. It would definitely be a legit strat for this game, because if you can't kill that Clinks, he's gonna kill you all. Like, they'll have to Chronosphere him, basically, above getting 4 other players, because he does so much damage, even at this point of the game. And this is only with just the Orchid. You gotta think about when he picks up Crit, when he picks up an MKB or a Butterfly or anything like that. And Godot, he's on his own again.
And he
Balls
dead.
is gonna kill him.
He dead. Balls
Anyone
says,
on their
"Thank
own,
you
or
very much."
even with 2, you're going to die against this Clinks, and that's the power of a Clinks. If you let him get the farm, and if you let him lane against someone who can't stop him, like a Elder Titan, he's gonna do great. I mean, Elder Titan can do okay against him when they're like level 3 and 4, but once Searing Arrows is like level 3 or 4, it's over.
Oh, Kiri actually coming into that, falls perfectly for the bait, but the heroes of the Radiant are kind of tossed out and around at the moment. The impetuses are flying in, not enough is getting backtracked. Slicks gets silenced up, but he does still grab the kill, and Void does go down to Lippy's impetuses. Now Slicks is next on that list. The stun will miss, but in comes Zeus from the side. Ulti gets thrown out, gets a kill on the Rubik, and they're looking for more blood. Balls comes forward with the Orchid and the right click. Slicks is down. It's a double kill for Balls. And they're looking to get a complete team wipe. Godot, he's trying to run, trying to get out of there desperately. He's got 432, but he gets hit by a hook. It's a complete team wipe for Hans Reborn. 16.5 minutes into the game. If we look at experience, they're 11,000 ahead. And if we look at the gold, they're now 12,000 ahead in gold as well. 17 minutes into the game.
Yeah, and honestly, can't say Whips basically have to get like 10k on their Void before they're even back in this game now. And he's going to basically completely rely on backtracks to dodge Balls. Unless Balls buys a Divine and throws the game, this is almost in the bag.
Honestly, I think even with a Divine, they can't do anything.
Unless they give Void a Divine.
No, even if they give Void the Divine, they get off a Chronosphere and kill one hero, and then he still gets burst down by Zeus or Balls if
Slicks.
he doesn't catch him.
Slicks is dead in mid now.
6 in
Yeah.
a row.
Diving a tier 2 with a Lich there, still getting the kill. you know you're in a bit of trouble, and yeah, this Clinks will probably just go.
Gold.
Yeah, he's probably going to go straight for something like a what's it called, Daedalus. He could go for a BKB, but I don't think that's his style. This far ahead, you don't need a BKB.
Knowing balls,
heaps of damage.
Probably Dagon.
That's a good point, actually.
Catch out Godot, and he gets instantly melted. The big ulti coming out from Shaitan grabs that kill, and they're just grabbing kills everywhere. It's now 16-2, and you know, CSW knocked Hans down to the lower bracket, but Hans now just really steamrolling them now. It's 1-0. They're 16-2 up, and they're just massively ahead in the farm.
Yeah, and I think this is the serious mode, Hans Reborn, you know. They might pick this lineup that looks very odd, but the Zeus dominated mid.
We're going to have a jump in. The Chrono gets thrown out. The Queen of Pain ultimate, but Tupac gets thrown up into the air before he can throw out the ultimate. That's a big get by Firestarter. Shaitan is going to fall here. Kirei taking a lot of damage. Slicks will go down as well. And they're looking to go on Kirei here. He's being forced back by an Enchantress. Guani's trying to come in here, throwing out a lot of damage with that natural order. He's getting completely melted, but an excellent cogs there from Endless Winter. Kirei just can't get in range for this. Now Lippy coming back into it. He's trying for a great stun, but can't get it. The Lich ulti only hits on one. They take down Faceless Void, and he's still alive. Tupac getting thrown down. Those impetuses doing so much damage. And Guani is stuck up on the hill because of that. Endless Winter does go down to the tower. Godot manages to pick up a double kill. Oh, sorry, Lippy gets a double kill. Godot picking up the dominating streak there. And just so much action. And Hans actually losing out in that team fight that time.
Yeah, but I mean, that was typical Hans. And look at Clinks. Look what he bought. He bought a Basher.
He bought a Basher.
I mean, the Abyssal's actually not bad on this hero, and 10% bash isn't too bad once you're attacking really, really fast, which he does when he has Strafe on. But, a Basher? Really?
Yeah,
and he's just selling all his items now, and he picks up Chrysalis. He's going the RNGG Lord.
Generally,
and he's like
the only two range heroes you grab a Basher on are Windrunner and Clinks.
And Weaver.
Sometimes Weaver, but...
For the Abyssal, yeah.
Maybe for the
Abyssal,
very
but
for the bash chance, definitely Windrunner and Clinks, but it's almost always overlooked for even something like a Desolator or an MKB, so Ball's just having a bit of fun with this. He knows they're ahead. I honestly don't think it's a throw, and it looks like he might be positioning for Roshan here. They know that they're not in there, maybe thinking that they were going for Roshan because they're all missing from the map. And it's been such a long time, and Ball's actually starting out bashing Roshan right now, and gets a bash right back in the face. He's used up Strafe, but he's already got Roshan down to about a half health solo as a Clinks. His ultimate has run out, so Strafe has also run out, so he's going a lot slower. Does get earned up though, so, you know, they're trying to take him down, and now Enchantress taking one of the hits will slow him down a lot. In comes an Elder Titan Spirit. They know it's going on. A nice stomp is going to actually catch two. The Earth Splitter, as well as the ulti coming through. Kirei doing a great job there. Picking up one, the ultimate from Queen of Pain, hitting throw on two, but Slicks and Godot caught by a Firestarter stun, and Shaitan just killing them off. Kirei now running for his life. The impetus is coming through. Backtracks one, leaps away, should be able to get away here. They don't have any backup. They didn't go the other way around. But now this Roshan is free to take. And the T2 tower is looking in trouble as well.
Yeah, and Kirei actually dodged the he dodged the Vendetta hit, which kept him alive, which was pretty good RNG, but I mean, they just got destroyed in that fight. It looked okay, but when Roshan hit the Enchantress, they got out, and the ult didn't do enough, and Void with the Chronosphere, you have to get all the other spells in it, because Void at this point doesn't do any damage, and he's building a BKB. He's not going to hit hard.
And Shaitan has a Scythe, so if he manages to get a Scythe in before Void BKBs, he doesn't have anything. He's just instantly dead.
Pretty much.
Trouble brewing.
But Basher, it's a good item.
Yeah, I did manage to bash the Roshan a couple of times. Roshan getting a bit better in that bash war, but you know, as soon as Strafe runs out, it's not a very useful item. It does give you a bit of plus damage, and gives you a stun if you're really lucky, but it's nothing to bank on.
Yeah, I honestly think I honestly don't think they care at this point though. It was just him going, yo, I'm gonna buy a Basher. It's legit.
Mad Ping's coming out, and Balls is easily going to take this, grab an Aegis for himself. And, you know, he's died once, he's 6-1-1 though, up at 137 CS as well. He's the leader of the net worth by a very long way, sitting at 11k right now. If we take a look at the experience, Hans are ahead by 16k. If we take a look at gold, it's about 17k in their favor as well. So CSW, their back's definitely against the wall, but, you know, you can never count out a team with Faceless Void. Like, if he manages to total a lot and get up a lot, if he gets off an excellent Chronosphere followed up by a Queen of Pain ult and a Lich ult and an Elder Titan ult, you might be able to defend, but it's just looking so stacked against CSW right now.
Yeah, but even if they get those off, then what do they do the next fight when they're on cooldown? Like, if they get all those off and team wipe them, just bum rush them. Just buy back and bum rush them. They've got nothing left. You don't bank on any of your ults on the side of Hounds, really. Like, they don't need their ultis to win fights, whereas CSW, you have to have those ultis to do anything.
Yeah, it's pretty insane. Shaitan now faking out the ultimate, having the nice Thunder Crash noise, and Ball's not even using the strafe to take down this tower. Just waiting for the right click casually, just grabbing it. The stomp gets thrown out, but it's not going to hit on anyone, and Hans look like they're thinking of taking this top tower.
Yeah, I mean, there's not even any big rush for them. They could wait for, like, the Abyssal or the Daedalus to come out of Clinks. Or he could get a Maelstrom for even more RNGG.
Maelstrom, fun. I was actually thinking about that when he was hitting through and an Arc Lightning Bolt came out. I'm just, did he just get a Maelstrom? But no, Balls. Not that crazy at this point, but come on, buddy.
Maelstrom is definitely better than Skull Basher.
It is. Not by much, but
Come on. Maelstrom got a buff, man.
To be fair, Abyssal is a lot better than Mjolnir on a Clinks, though.
Yeah, he does need a little bit of lockdown. Even the silence isn't, you know, quite enough.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you even see Clinks picking up a dagger, which we actually saw in a pro game probably a couple months ago, where he wasn't quite killing them by the Orchid, and then he would just blink forward and hit them about another 5-6 times, and they were definitely dead. So, you know, you can get very cheeky with the builds for Clinks, so we even see things like Scythe. It's kind of like the Ursa build, where you have some good lockdown, but if it fails, you need something else. So, Balls has the Basher, could go Abyssal, could go Scythe, could go Dagon, could go Maelstrom. He could buy a Necro Book. I think at this point it doesn't really matter too much.
I don't think it does. I mean, they still haven't broken high ground, so the game is not over for CSW. But with this amount of lead, I mean, you look at the fact that your Enchantress has the same amount as farm as their Void, and same as your Nyx Assassin. That's a bad sign, and it's almost going to be like the net worth is going to be all Hans and then all CSW on the bottom. It's not. It's just a matter of time almost. Unless Hans do some epic throws, this game is theirs.
We're going to see
we've just got to wait.
Searing Arrows doing so much damage, but Balls could be caught out here. We're seeing a pincer here. They're about to go through. Shaitan is going to walk into this. Or Willie, the Sprite's already thrown out. The ultimate getting thrown out as well. Guani almost dying instantly. The Scythe thrown out on Tupac as well. Firestarter just missing out on that kill. He's going to Vendetta Strike for the victory there. But Slicks and Godot caught in those cogs, get killed instantly. Tupac saying plus, but he gets killed off by Nyx Assassin. Balls will take down this tower. They're sitting at 26 and 7. A buyback from Slicks. But it's not going to do their team any good. 26 minutes in, they're going to be taking down this melee Rax, and I don't think they have to leave the base. We've got an Ag Scepter up on the clockwork. Risk has the blink, he's had it for a while, and we see Clink's also going for the Daedalus. He can buy it up now and collect it from the enemy fountain, and that tower is just absolutely
yeah, and that's without strafe. He's going to activate it now, and the Rax just fall. They have no chance. And I think this game is in the bag for Hans Reborn.
Yeah, certainly now. Taking 2 racks down. Shaitan 4 stuffing forward, catching out Kirei, and he goes down.
The kill steal.
To grab it. Guani now having hook. We might see some exciting plays coming up from the Rubik. Will they try and catch off Balls for a last hurrah?
The Dyer's mid-rags. It's gone.
But I mean, Hans,
I don't think so, man.
Just so dominating. They did get knocked down to the lower bracket by CSW. We thought they might be in a bit of trouble, but they just really roll to victory in this game. They started off well, and they played the mid well, and they're ending well. They're 27-7. The experience is almost 25,000 in their favor, and the gold is around 20k ahead.
And they've got a back to push out other lanes.
The Mask of Madness purchased up by the Enchantress. Called it earlier. Ags, Mask of Madness. And Ball's
just sitting in their base.
Double kill in their fountain. Kirei comes back, throws out the Chrono, and getting hit back by the Elder Titan ult. So they do manage to kill off Balls. He just buys back instantly, and Godot calls the good game. So the first N9 Dota 2 Cup will be won by Hans Reborn, winning it 2-0 in the end. Thank you very much to our sponsors. David Gods Parker for putting in 200 of his own dollars, as well as offering 5 BTS shirts up for grabs for one of the teams, as well as Daredevil Dan for hosting this, Godot for bringing all the players together, and of course thank you very much to Dan for casting all of today with me. We've been going for about 9 hours now, so just a great fight there taken by Hans, and they take out the series 2-0.